What's up, everybody? Welcome to Talking Shit, episode 101. My name is Barrett Courtney. I'm one of your hosts, and here, joined with me, is one of my great co-hosts and even better friends, the bisexist from Texas, Henry Montiero. You have nothing to say today? Nothing? Nothing at all? Come on, give me something.
The cream rises to the top.
Your cream in your coffee? Mm-hmm. Leave it to Ricky after our 100th episode to not be on episode 101. And I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking, it's sort of full circle of like the first week of Talking Shit, he was here, and then immediately the second week, he wasn't. It's like life itself in a way. But instead of having the chunky punk Ricky Baldazan, we have the honorary fifth member of BzG, the man who wears sombreros, Fluffy Osmosis. What's up, Fluffy? See, both of you, come on, say something to me. Jesus Christ.
You said it wrong. The cream rises to the top.
I'm just in a position I'd rather not
Fluffy,
be
we
at
have
the
not
moment.
seen you on an episode of Talking Shit since the early days. I want to say like episode 17 or 18 maybe. Like, it has been a very long time. What have you been doing since then?
How's the cream?
Rising to the top as always. But, you know, I've just been chilling.
Chilling.
Chilling like a villain?
It's been about a year since you've been on Talking Shit, and since then you graduated high school.
Oh, yeah.
Just like I did in one of our first weeks.
Yeah. Like we had started BCG, and then after I think a month, you had graduated high school.
Yeah.
And look at you now.
I'm a disappointment.
And Fluffy will learn to be one as well. Soon enough. Soon enough. If you hang out with us enough, you'll learn how to be a disappointment. How's you guys' week been?
Good.
Good?
Good, I think.
You think? What have you been up to?
Not much. Just like, I went to see Warcraft. Sucked.
As I would expect it to be, you know. Mm-hmm. I don't know what you were expecting.
Suck with a K or two C's?
2 C's.
Okay.
It suck. But it actually made me want to write an article about it.
Finally something for the BGG blog, maybe?
Yeah.
Yay. I finally put something up by the time you're watching this on YouTube last week.
It's a picture of my dick.
It's just a picture of my dick. Just several pictures of just my dick in
They all
different angles.
have writing on it. That's where the article is. You got to look closely. It's
You
in
gotta
the fine
look
print.
closely the fine print. I wrote about sort of my concerns of the upcoming Zelda game, and some of my hopes for it as well, and some things that I'm excited about. And I did an audio version for it as well, sort of like how I did the last why I don't want The Last of Us 2. I did an audio version for that, so I did that again for this one. So. Yeah, besides that, I've been just working a lot, sort of possibly moving on up in ranks at my job.
Moving on up.
Yeah, so nothing like too big, but like it would be like a temporary sort of position that I would be in for a little bit, but still cool. To sort of maybe get some higher experience. And Fluffy, what have you been up to this week?
I've been partying.
Illegally? You underage son of a bitch.
I am not declined to say.
I can't believe Fluffy's addicted to cocaine.
Who would have thought?
So you're just partying a lot?
Yeah, hanging out with friends. 'Cause
Cool.
I just don't do anything at home.
I mean, I like that's good though. Like it's sort of it's your first summer after high school. It's sort of time to get that all out, and so by the time college starts, you can sort of be tired out from all of the fucking partying.
You can.
I mean, I don't know about you though. I don't know if you could ever be tired from partying because you are Fluffy Osmosis, the man who wears sombreros. Ladies
So
and
you can learn to nut instead of butt.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, this is Talking Shit. It's BCG's weekly podcast where we bring in random topics of discussion and we talk some shit about those topics. If you like that, head on over to patreon.com/BZG. Give us $1 a month and you get every full audio version of the episode early before the episodes roll out on YouTube, where the episode is broken up topic by topic Monday through Thursday, and before the entire audio version of the episode is available for everybody on SoundCloud and our RSS feed. Guys, before we get into it, I have two pieces of housekeeping here. The first one being not really housekeeping, not really anything related to us, but I just want to congratulate a good friend of ours, friend of the show, Sean Pitts, who's been officially hired by IGN.
By Egan.
So I just want to, give a congrats to you. He will be moving here to San Francisco in about a month, which is really really cool because it's like one of the first friends I made through Kind of Funny that are like getting into the industry and moving over here. I know Andy from Rooster Teeth. I know him, but that's fucking in Austin, Texas. Who gives a shit about that?
Oh,
First
hey.
person. That's where you're from. I forgot.
Yeah.
Dude, you don't even remember living there. Come on. So, yeah, I just wanted to give my congrats to Mr. Sean Pitts out there. He's been working 10 times harder than myself this last year with the Nerds Online, and it's really cool to see that hard work sort of be paid off. It gives me hope that maybe one day, maybe like 5 to 10 years down the line, maybe I'll be in that position to be hired by somebody.
Egan?
By Igan or Gumspot. And then also...
Or Kotaku.
They do a lot of written stuff though, and I'm just like, my writing's okay, but I'm more like the video guy.
Pilligan.
The second piece of housekeeping, if you're a Patreon listener, you're gonna get this scoop sort of early, but if you're watching this on YouTube,
Housekeeping?
Housekeeping.
Yesterday, a special announcement video for BZG went up, and I just wanted to explain it a little more before we get into the show. We're recruiting for BZG, and what that means is that
We're going to war.
We're going to war. The last couple of months, I've been thinking about like how we could grow BZG, and I've been thinking a lot of like, oh, we should make more shows, and we should do more shows, and I was thinking about it a lot, and I was like, we're already, especially myself, like we're already spread thin as it is. We do this weekly podcast, we do Let's Plays every week, and then I do BCG news every week. It's sort of like, I think what we can do right now is the most that we can possibly do. And so why we're recruiting is so that we could sort of grow a community of content creators and sort of build that like on one platform. So if you haven't heard, you can go to bzgamers.com/contact, and you could sort of do a submission for like if you have a pitch for a show that you want to do, like a podcast or like a weekly like video show or like written work, you can email us there and we will get back to you as soon as possible, and we'll see if like that sort of content, like whatever your idea is, we'll see if that is for us and if we want to go forward. It's sort of like a partnership really, and it's like we give you the platform to put stuff on a website and put stuff on SoundCloud and shit, and after that, it's like it's basically up to you. And I just sort of want to reiterate this because I haven't recorded it yet, but the script I have for it doesn't really go into this. It's we can't pay you money because
We wish we could, but we wouldn't anyway.
just because we lose money doing this.
We can do the thing where we have a fishing pole and there's $1 at the end of it and you run after it. It's exercise.
But having a website and having a SoundCloud subscription where you can have more than like an hour and a half of content up for a week is really expensive, and so you wouldn't have to pay for those things. Like we have that stuff ready for you, and you wouldn't have to pay us for that. It's basically sort of just on you to make the content if you want to, and that's the other thing. It's like it's on you. Like I will be glad to like put your content up, but like you got to be able to edit videos or edit your podcasts, or you got to actually make the content and edit the content. I'm already so spread thin with like doing my job at like the place where I make money and then like editing all this shit and stuff. So but I would meet you halfway of making sure the content gets up on our website, making a specific page for whatever content that you want to do, and making sure like the promotions get out there and stuff. So we're recruiting, so that's really exciting. I literally just told you guys like 10 minutes ago. Yeah. I came up with this idea last night and stayed up until like 3 a.m, sort of like sort of spitballing like plans and making different ideas. It was very different when I first thought of it last night and like how it sort of ended up, and I'm really proud and excited for this idea because I've been thinking about like getting official people to like. I've been thinking about like, oh, who should I approach? But I don't want to do that. You know, I don't want to make it seem like, oh, hey, I want to like make you work for us and like make you do like content all the time for us. It's sort of like if you want to do content, we are available to have that for you. So,
Like at your own pace, right?
yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Like as an outsider, Fluffy, what do you think about this? For the audio listeners, what do you think about
The
this?
old spaghetti.
Is good.
It's good. It's a good game.
Very good game.
Now let's get into the fucking topics here. We've spent enough time talking about housekeeping shit. Henry,
Housekeeping.
or how did I say housekeeping?
Yeah.
Housekeeping.
I mean house cleaning.
House
Fuck.
cleaning.
Henry, what do you want to talk about today?
The topic I wanted to bring in is what makes a game hard versus what makes a game frustrating.
See, there are games that like stand out to me as like hard, but like a good like challenge. A lot of the Mega Man games are definitely that of like there is a set difficulty for it, but they give you sort of a pace where they give you time to sort of learn about it, and the whole sort of cycle and grind to that game is basically sort of figuring out different ways of how to go through levels and sort of just master the game in a way. And I'd say the same for Dark Souls as well.
Yeah.
Of like Dark Souls is just like, for me, weirdly enough, like I get frustrated easily, even if it's not a frustrating game itself. It's just because I suck at video games. So games like our Bloodborne Let's Plays were like, we could not get past like the first 10 minutes of the fucking game. It was bad. So like, as you can see, we're awful at fucking hard video games like that. But I appreciate it though, of like what sort of that loop is and sort of trial and error and whatnot. So those are like the two main things I'd thought of. Like, what are like some of like what were some of the things that you were thinking about? Like, what makes like a frustrating game? Because that was like the trouble I was having. It was like I don't know like games that are frustrating.
So, like, when I think of frustrating games, usually what I think of are games where they went into it being like, let's make this so that it's difficult for someone to get through. Like, not like this game is like you have to work to get through it. Like, it's going to be hard for you to get through this.
And it's like sort of even no matter how much time you spend with it and how much you sort of learn what the game is, it's still like sort of a piece of shit in a way.
Like Battletoads.
Okay.
Like Battletoads is the definitive, like, this game is hard, not because it makes it more fun, but because it makes it more difficult.
And that's so weird because like Battletoads is beloved by people. So it's like I never understood.
It's nostalgia.
Okay, yeah.
Like here's the thing, like Battletoads has it where if you're co-op, you can kill the other player.
What? The fuck?
Like on accident.
That must have been like one of the first games that could do that too.
Yeah, I think it was.
Huh.
But it's just like that doesn't make the game more fun. It just makes it more difficult, and I think that's what makes a game difficult versus frustrating. Like if it has a mechanic that doesn't make the game feel more rewarding, it just makes it harder, then it makes it more frustrating. Like, I was playing God of War.
Okay.
And God of War is a perfect example of a game that is never... Well, actually, there is a puzzle that I'm at right now that's frustrating.
Okay.
And it's a good example of what makes it something hard versus frustrating. So there's this puzzle where you have to move this crate so you can jump up to a higher platform.
Okay.
And to do this, you have to lift a lever. You have to pull a lever. But as soon as you pull that lever, the door comes up, the door closes, and you have a certain amount of time before spikes come up and kill you.
Okay.
But the thing is, there's just a barely enough time to get the box all the way around a corner to get up. And if you stand on the box when the spikes come up, the spikes destroy the box too. So to me, that's frustrating because a good puzzle in a game is not, okay, you know how to do this puzzle, but you have barely enough time to do it. It's, you have enough time to figure out what to do in this puzzle, put it into motion, and succeed.
I definitely understand, and even with games I love, like, do that, because Donkey Kong 64 is actually, like, a huge, like, victim to that. Of a lot of its puzzles, it's like, okay, you got to stomp on this thing and then try to get all the way across the map in, like, a certain amount of time. And that does that gets really frustrating at points. And there's, like, it's when the game is being cheap in a way that's, like, really pisses me off. Of, like, okay, that's bullshit. That should have worked, right? Or, like, I should have been able to beat that. Like, another thing that Donkey Kong 64 has is, like, when you race, like, in some of the levels, you, like, to get some of the golden bananas, you, like, have to race this, like, beetle bug or this bunny rabbit and whatnot. And the beetle bug is such a cheap piece of shit because even if you're...
Does it rubber band?
What?
So,
like the rubber band where you're like ahead of it for most of the time, and then like the last 3 seconds, it fucking somehow gets past you.
well, no, rubber band AI is this thing.
It fucking drives me insane. And ask my dad, Eric Courtney, even though he's not on the internet, so you won't be able to ask him. He fucking like that is the game that him and I connect on the most. And like those parts always like just fucking frustrate us. I'm just like, it's bullshit. There's no skill to that.
Yeah. But rubber band AI is this thing where it's very common in racing games where you will never go fast. The computer characters will always go fast enough to be slightly behind you.
That's like a weird thing that I've noticed with Mario Kart recently.
Mario Kart's a huge perpetrator.
Yeah, but sometimes I don't find that. Like a lot of the times I'm actually ahead of like the racers a lot, and that's just because I'm just so fucking good at Mario Kart.
Actually, that makes me think. Good example of hard versus frustrating. Mario Kart 8 versus Mario Kart Wii.
See, Mario Kart Wii sucks just because, you know, all the games on the Wii suck.
Hey.
I know Galaxy is good and it utilizes the controls a little better, but most games with like the fucking Wii controls are not that great. My sister had a Wii recently, and we were playing Mario Kart Wii like about a year ago or something, and I was just like, Jesus Christ.
I played it at Quentin's house.
Oh my God.
A little bit ago, and I made the mistake of choosing the wheel. And I was
yeah, the
like,
wheel is awful.
I didn't realize how much better the wheel was in Mario Kart 8.
Oh, right. You still have like fucking. I forget that Wii remotes are still part of a thing for the Wii U. Like I only have like the Wii Pad and like the Pro controller. So, goddamn. Oh, something not related to this, but something I found out. It's confirmed that Zelda Breath of the Wild will be compatible with Pro controller, so you don't need to use the gamepad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bet you're
Hallelujah.
Fuck yeah.
But so like the problem with Mario Kart Wii is that with item distribution.
That's the problem with all Mario Kart games, though. You know?
But like Mario Kart Wii was super bad with it because it was the first one where you had 12 racers, and so then like. Everyone has a Mario Kart Wii story of I was almost at the finish line when I got hit by a blue shell, red shell, green shell, lightning bolt, fell off the side.
Yeah, and that's the fucking thing. I think the blue shell is honestly bullshit. I think it's like the worst fucking thing to ever happen. I think it's the worst item in video game history.
Really?
Because it's such a fucking cheap shot of... Most people who get the blue shell are going to be in like 10th place, right? And
8 to 12, I think, is the range where you can
yeah,
get it.
it's like all the way in the back. So what you do is fire a shell at someone who's not even close to you. So even if you hit them, it doesn't gain you anything. It just brings someone back, and that's fucking bullshit. And like
Bullet Bill's way better for that kind of thing.
yeah, Bullet Bill is a good concept, and it's sort of like. To me, Bullet Bill is more of like a reskin, sort of like of the star power in a way.
Yeah.
Just a little more of like you're not controlling it anymore while you're as Bullet Bill. So, but like the blue shell is just horseshit because, you know, it made me realize that Mario Kart now is just a game of fucking chance. Like Mario Kart on the N64, like I was playing that a couple of months ago, and that is literally like. There are some like cheap shots. There are like the fucking lightning bolt and shit.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like you have to be good to fucking like be first, right? And with Mario Kart 8, it's like you could block the blue shell sometimes, but you got to be lucky enough to have the fucking Sounds music box to break it while it's over your head, or you have to be fucking lucky enough to shoot a green shell behind you and hope it's not close enough to you so that it like breaks the blue shell, and it's fucking like...
Or use a mushroom at the exact right point to speed ahead of it.
Exactly, and it's just fucking... It's chance now of like you have to be lucky enough to have the tools to use it at the right fucking
Mario
time.
Kart would be a lot better if it had like an item selection screen like Smash Bros.
See... That or just take away a lot of the fucking weapons, you know? Like, just have, like, green shells, red shells, bananas. I like
mushrooms.
The boomerang. I like the mushrooms. I like the boomerang mechanic. That's actually, like, a cool, like, addition that they had for 8 specifically.
You know,
Fire flowers, don't eat them.
The star actually used to mean something. Like,
Yeah.
in 8, like,
yeah. It's
back
like,
in, like, as far as I can remember, Mario Kart Double Dash, like, if you were nearing the end, if you had the star, you could get ahead.
Yeah.
But in 8, if you're,
you could
dead
get,
last,
like, one... You could get ahead of one person.
it just doesn't
maybe.
mean anything anymore.
Yeah, and it's because Bullet Bill is a thing now.
Yeah.
And so now the fucking star power is basically like you for sure won't get like hurt by anything. That's like all it is now. God, so fucking weird like how much, cuz that's the thing, I have not, like, Mario Kart 8 is the first Mario Kart that I have personally owned since Mario Kart 64. And it was just so weird to see like how much it changed.
It's still good.
It's still fun. It's still bullshit.
Mario Kart's always been bullshit.
And I'm still trying to get 3 stars on every fucking single map.
Super Mario Kart is still the worst when it comes to stuff like that.
Oh, jeez, man. Super Mario Kart.
But actually, an example of I just thought of a game that is excruciatingly hard without ever getting frustrating, at least for me.
I am the guy.
Oh, no, that's always frustrating, but that's the entire point of it, and it's I want to be the guy.
Yeah.
But Super Meat Boy.
Yeah?
Super Meat Boy never gets frustrating because...
No.
To me.
Well, yeah.
Because it always works within the parameters of the game itself.
Yeah, it's frustrating in like a different way where it's just like you're frustrated at yourself
for not being good enough.
Yeah, and because you're like fuck, I knew I should have done it differently and whatnot. Like the amount of hours my friend oh shit, what's his last name? We know like 10 different Maxes at this point. Max Cole in high school. Him and I put so many fucking hours into Super Meat Boy before it was even like we would play it on his computer. Like that's where I play it. Yeah, that's before like it was even on console or anything. And it was like at one point we thought we legit needed a punching bag next to his computer just because of like how pissed we would get. It was to the point where we had so many deaths at the end of like finally beating it. Like the screen would like, you know how it like replays like all of your like fucking playthroughs at the end? It would freeze the screen with how many fucking like Super Meat Boys there were.
But with Super Meat Boy, it gives you all the information you need. It never pulls like a cheap shot. It's hard entirely through level design.
God, yeah.
Meanwhile, I Want to Be the Guy pulls random things on you, like okay, these apples are falling, gotta avoid them. Oh, they fall up.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
What? What's
Just
your
for
question?
clarification, because you guys keep bringing up the word cheap.
Yeah.
So are we saying that if it's cheap, is it hard or is it frustrating?
So if it's cheap, that's where it gets frustrating because what video games should be is, you know, you should have the tools to learn what is about to happen. And so when something unexpected happens that you have no control or power over, like the blue shell or like the apples falling upward or whatnot, it's a cheap shot. And it's like, I Want to Be the Guy is actually like a weird exception to me because that game is very much like, it's not a game, it's learning. It's memorizing basically at that point.
It's a rhythm game.
It's a rhythm game, and it's memorizing how things go. And it's sort of like I Want to Be the Guy is sort of like being in school in a way of like it's not about like actual learning. It's a lot about like memorizing what's on paper and shit. And so that's actually one of the few exceptions of like, okay, like I can easily go back and, you know, the point of I Want to Be the Guy is to fucking die a lot, but to learn and slowly progress through it. But there are points of like Mario Kart 8 where there are there are things like the blue shell that like you have no power or control over. Like you have the tools, you have all of the tools that you need, but there's no tools to be able to block that every time. So it's like the game saying like, oh hey, you think you're like good enough for this? Well, fuck you. And there's no way to get around it.
It needs like a POW block mechanic, because I actually really like how the POW block works in Mario Kart Wii, because you can block the POW block by, if you do a trick, like even when you're on the ground at the exact right point, you won't spin out.
Yep.
You'll spin once, immediately go back.
Yep.
Like, and I wish there was something you could do like that with the blue shell. Like, if you're good enough at the game, you can avoid it.
Yeah, and it like blocking the blue shell is very much this thing of chance. Like you have to be lucky enough to have the exact right tool at the exact right time, and that's like when it doesn't become about skill anymore, it becomes about chance. And I think that's like what we're trying to get to, is when things become about chance, and that's like very... With card games, that's fine. With like board games, that's fine. But with a video game, where you're basically trying to learn the language of the game, it's sort of it's bullshit. I don't know if that it explained it a little better, but
Trying to think
a
of
little bit.
I'm trying to think of a really good example of like a game where it just pulls something on you.
Superman 64.
No, that entire game just sucks.
That's a bad game.
But like, have you ever had any personal experiences where it's like, fuck this game, like I don't understand like why I'm not doing this correctly?
Like me shattering a light bulb to Jack 2. I hated that game.
Yeah, you really did.
Huh. I don't think I can ever really think of an instance where like I thought this was bullshit. Because
he's just so good at video games.
no, I'm not trying to imply that, but it's like what you said. Like eventually it gets to like a pattern, and eventually you learn it. So it's like then you'll eventually get over that obstacle.
Yeah.
So that's just how I play usually. Like I get frustrated, but I don't know. I'm just really casual when it comes to everything.
Well, no, and that's totally fucking fine.
Yeah.
A good example to me of like
Casual guy who likes Bloodborne, fucking weirdo.
I'm sorry.
a good example an example to me that I think of when it comes to like something that's fun hard and frustrating hard is, let's say you're playing drums in Rock Band.
Okay.
Fun hard is when you get to like one of those fills that's really complicated. And frustrating hard is when you're playing one of those death metal songs where it's all just about how fast you can use your right hand and your leg.
Like how much have you how much masturbation have you done to train for this moment?
So many.
And it's just like, that's not fun. Or like when you're playing guitar and it's just really fast strumming.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
It was a really good topic.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. I'm touching it. Any other game? You haven't talked to this much for this topic. I just felt bad.
I'm sorry.
Very dominated
for the
topic
viewers
by-
and the listeners.
No,
I'm
don't
also
fucking
kind of
apologize.
tired.
We're always tired on this fucking
Okay.
show. You don't have an excuse. You have
Mostly-
no excuse.
Mostly now I'm just upset that I realized I can't find my copy of Mario Kart 7 and it's somewhere in my room.
Mario, I really enjoyed Mario Kart 7. Alyssa and I put plenty of hours into that when I had
the 3DS one?
Yeah, the one I had the
good game.
3DS. I miss my 3DS.
And your 2DS.
And my 2DS. I have a 2DS, and then literally 2 weeks after like I bought it, it like black screened.
Oh.
So it just doesn't fucking work anymore.
Damn.
And like I try to contact Nintendo and be like, hey, can you guys fix this? And like they're like, no, you bought it from Target. We're not allowed to do that. It's like, why? It's fucking your products. That's frustrating hard.
He buys a Vita just to spite him.
I think the only time I ever get competitive is during party games. So like Mario Party.
Get super competitive at minute to win it.
You'd
Old
be
school. I don't
surprised.
know about like
Support me, Guy Fieri.
I don't know about new Mario Party games because I just don't touch them.
No,
but
past 7, no.
No one likes Mario Kart 10 or 9.
Yeah.
Mario Party 10 or 9.
Actually, yeah, I haven't played.
Oh, yeah,
8,
that's what I
so
meant.
can't speak for it.
Mario
but
Kart 2.
Old school Mario Party games had like really fair challenges that was really about like how good are you at this. So old school Mario Party, definitely like that's definitely like a fucking like it's a fair difficulty, you know.
Yeah.
So It was a good topic. Good one. Thank you.